Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel, the channel that always covers every emotional moment of BTS, a place where every word has meaning, and every look can reveal unspoken feelings. No one would have thought that in just a few minutes, one simple moment could silence the entire fandom. Not because of a scandal, not because of a controversy, but because of such profound honesty, so sincere, and so touching. Today, we're going to talk about a moment that happened just a few minutes ago. A broadcast that started out seemingly ordinary, but slowly turned into something much deeper. A moment when Jimin spoke alone, without Jungkook by his side. And the words he spoke left millions of fans around the world speechless. Absolutely speechless. The broadcast began with a calm atmosphere. No loud music, no cheers from the audience. Just Jimin's face on screen, sitting casually, wearing simple clothes, and a small smile that looked slightly different from usual. ARMY immediately noticed something. There was a different aura that night. Usually, when Jimin goes live, there's light laughter, jokes, and often interaction with the other members, especially Jungkook. The two are known as a duo that almost always complement each other. Their energy is like two sides of the same coin. When one smiles, the other shines. When one is tired, the other quietly gives them strength. But this time, Jungkook wasn't there, and that's precisely what made everyone start paying more attention. Jimin started with a simple greeting. His voice was soft, slightly low, like someone speaking from the heart. He said he missed his fans. He said he'd been thinking a lot lately, and then, unexpectedly, he paused. There was a few seconds of silence. Jimin's eyes met the camera, then looked down slightly. That second felt incredibly long. In the comments section, ARMY began to wonder. Was he okay? Had something happened? Was he sad? But then, Jimin lifted his head again, took a deep breath, and said a sentence that instantly froze the entire fandom. He said that sometimes in life we have to learn to stand alone. That even though we have people we love dearly around us, there are times when we have to find strength within ourselves. The words were simple, but the way he said them was full of meaning. ARMY immediately sensed that this wasn't just a simple message. It was a reflection. It was a confession. It was something that came from real experience. Jimin then smiled a little, but it was a smile that seemed a little fragile. He said that over the years with the members, he learned the meaning of friendship, trust, and love. He learned that no success can be achieved alone. And when he said the word together, many fans immediately thought of one name, Jungkook, a name that might not have been mentioned directly, but it felt present in every sentence Jimin spoke. He went on to say that there were people in his life who always made him feel safe. People who always supported him, even when he doubted himself. People who always believed in him, even when he felt weak. The live atmosphere grew increasingly emotional. Some fans began writing in the comments section that they felt like they were listening to someone opening their heart. Not as an idol, not as a superstar, but as a human being. And then, the most surprising moment happened. Jimin suddenly chuckled, as if remembering something sweet. He said that even though he was speaking alone that night, he never truly felt alone. That statement immediately took many fans' breaths. Because everyone knows, there's someone always behind the scenes, even when they can't see him. He said there's someone who always reminds him to eat on time. Someone who always makes sure he gets enough rest. Someone who always says, "You've worked hard." And although he didn't mention any names, armies around the world immediately understood his meaning. The reaction on social media exploded. Hashtags about Jimin and Jungkook began trending within minutes. The video clip from the broadcast was shared thousands of times. Emotional comments poured in from various countries. Some wrote that they cried. Others wrote that they felt warm inside. Still others said that the moment reminded them of the importance of having someone who always supports us, even in silence. But what touched me most was when Jimin said he felt grateful. He said that his life wasn't perfect, that there were days when he felt tired. There were days when he felt afraid. But whenever he felt like that, he always found strength in the people around him.
머리 말리는 것만 진짜 한 15분, 20분은 걸렸어요.
And then, in a very quiet voice, he said a sentence that left the entire fandom completely speechless. He said that love doesn't always have to be expressed in big words. Sometimes, love is found in small things, in simple acts of attention, in everyday habits, in the presence of someone who is always there, even when the world feels heavy. The sentence felt so personal, so honest, so real. A few seconds later, Jimin paused. He looked at the camera, then smiled with slightly teary eyes. Not tears, not sadness, but a very deep emotion. Armies around the world immediately felt the same vibration, because they knew that this moment wasn't just another live broadcast. It was a moment of reflection, a moment of honesty, a moment when an idol opened his heart to the millions who love him. And perhaps what left everyone speechless the most was the fact that even though Jungkook wasn't physically present that night, his presence felt so real. It was as if every word Jimin spoke was a message addressed to him as well. As if distance had never truly separated them. As if the bond they shared was far stronger than just being together on stage. Minutes before the broadcast ended, Jimin said that he hoped everyone watching that night would find happiness in their lives. He said that no matter how difficult our journeys may be, there is always someone who cares for us. And as he said those words, a warm smile returned to his face. A smile that brought peace to millions of fans. A smile that said everything would be okay. A smile that reminded us that behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment world, there are people with sincere hearts and real feelings. And when the broadcast finally ended, the screen went black. There was no drama, no big announcement, just a simple thank you. But the impact was extraordinary. In a matter of minutes, video footage of the broadcast spread around the world. Fans from Korea, Japan, America, Indonesia, and many other countries began sharing the moment with the same message. That Jimin's words that night were a reminder of the meaning of a genuine relationship. That love doesn't always have to be visible. That being together doesn't always have to be in the same place. And that someone can be our greatest source of strength, even without saying a word. That's why this moment feels so special. Because it's not about hype. It's not about gossip. It's not about drama. It's about feelings. It's about honesty. It's about a relationship built on trust, care, and simple love. And perhaps that's why millions of fans around the world feel so connected to this moment. Because in Jimin's words, they see a part of themselves. They see hope. They see sincerity. They see a love that needs no explanation. And now the question is, was this moment just a coincidence? Or was this Jimin's way of showing that even though the world is constantly changing, some relationships will always remain the same? Armies may have different answers, but one thing is for sure, Jimin's words that night will be remembered forever, as a moment when he spoke alone, yet he made the whole world feel less alone. If you also felt the same emotions when hearing Jimin's words earlier, if you also believe that a sincere relationship can provide extraordinary power, then don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow ARMY friends around the world. Write your thoughts in the comments section. What sentence from Jimin touched your heart the most tonight? And as always, we will continue to follow every little moment, every smile, and every story that warms our hearts. Because behind every simple interaction between Jimin and Jungkook, there is always a story worth remembering. See you in the next video.